Ignore it. And honestly, if people are telling you not to watch or read something, like go watch and read it and check it out and think about it yourself. Don't let Casey Michelle tell you what to think. Yeah. Anyway, on that note.
Unless you like Scooter Libby and Dr. Strangelove. Yeah. Thank you, Rania.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Rania.
Bye, Leslie. Bye, Katie.
Bye.
Have a great show.
Thank you. Great. Okay, guys, I'm so excited about our next guest. He's so funny. I already said this, but I'm going to say it again in case anyone's joining us. Also, make sure you take this moment to like and share and subscribe to the stream. But this man is a real Renaissance man. He's a comedian. He is a water protector. He's an organizer. And he really, I think, kind of like bridges the gap between serious issues, but also humor, obviously, and fun and joy. And he's one of the co-founders of the 1491s, which is an all Indigenous comedy troupe. And he is the Keep It in the Ground campaign organizer for the Indigenous Environmental Network. So without any further ado, Dallas Goldtooth. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. This is my co-host, Leslie Lee.
Nice to see you, Leslie.
Nice to meet you, Dallas. How's it going?
That voice, it's like butter.
Oh my God, Leslie's voice.
I love it.
I know, it's so good. It's like you can barely figure out who's talking when, me or Leslie.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah.
Into one, yeah.
Just throws it off. I've been listening for a while, and I love the little tidbit of information that you left the last. What's her name? The last
Rania Kalik.
Rania. When y'all said, like, if someone tells you not to watch it, you should watch it. That's my uncle gave me that exact same advice when I watched my first porno. So it is absolutely true. You know, your life will go in different directions when you watch something you're not supposed to watch.
Yeah, for better or for good, unclear.
Yes,
but in one direction.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Where are you joining us from? What are you?
I'm in my back porch.
Okay.
Is that what you wanted to know?
Yeah, it looks great. It's an outdoor porch?
It's an indoor. No, it's outdoors. Like, it's all screened right here. There's mosquitoes outside. No, it's an enclosed. I'm in Chicago. Chicago.
That's
where I'm at.
All right.
Or sorry, I forgot. I'm so like in the woke.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm obviously in woke spaces. I'm on stolen land, occupied Anishinaabe territories of so-called Chicago.
Okay, got it.
That's where I'm at.
That's what I guessed from the vibe. Yeah. That's what I picked up. Was picking up that vibe. Yeah. I wanted, by the way, since you mentioned your uncle and it's that holiday, I want that shall not be named. I want to share a photo of my late uncle who's awesome, and I show a video of him a lot on the show. But let me just show you him in his shirt. That's the shirt he would wear on Thanksgiving.
Yes. I think everyone has an uncle that will wear that shirt.
Yeah, but he was also, I guess, I hope so. It's like the opposite of the racist uncle. But he was more than, he wasn't just signs and slogans. He got arrested a bunch of times.
Hell yeah.
I hope for some cool stuff.
For shoplifting. No. Or actually he got arrested first.
Punching elderly people. That's what he got arrested for.
Yeah, no, it was I come from a long line of actually people doing stuff. Like my grandfather I never met, he got arrested for climbing up a pole outside the Austrian embassy after Hitler invaded somewhere, and I guess Poland. And was that one? Anyway, he at one point, doesn't matter, the punchline, if you will, is that he took down a swastika. And then my uncle was he got arrested. He was part of the Du Bois Club, which was basically the Young Communist Party. And he got arrested. And then, now this is my last humble brag. My mom's boyfriend and the family was one of the first 3 guys to go to jail for not going to Vietnam, for not being conscientious objectors. And my uncle basically wrote his wrote his speech where he was saying he wasn't going to go to war. And I know that because I had that family friend of ours read that letter on camera. And he's like, he happens to have this weird 1940s accent. And he's like, I'm a Puerto Rican and I barely saw my mother. And he's like, what the hell? wrote this. I saw my mother all the time. And it was like my, and then he realized it was my uncle who took a lot of liberties. My uncle, yeah. Anyway, so, well, what are you working on? Last time I saw you was in stolen land, known as Canada. Is that how I say it?
I think that's how they pronounce it.
The actual.
I think it's a harder C.
Okay, Canada, right. Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you working on? Everyone should follow you on Twitter also.
I appreciate that. What am I working on? One is just surviving. I think that's key right now. Prepping. I'm prepping a lot lately. No, I don't know. Like I actually like. Hey, can I curse on here?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Well, hot damn. Well, life slowed down in so many ways. Actually, all right, I'm gonna say this. I felt like life was crazy before the election, the first 2 weeks up to it, but I feel like it's gotten even more intense. My workload has increased since the election. And it's just like this mad rush of just frantic energy. I know what it is because, all right, I'm an organizer. I work for an environmental group. Yeah. And if you don't know, may not realize this, but Trump and his friends are going batshit crazy right now to try to get as much done before Biden takes office. Yeah. And so like, it's like full steam ahead. You know, they got their little miners hats on and we're like, let's go. And they're like just going full steam. And so I feel like we're in the last segments of an epic hockey match where it's like sudden death. The first person scores wins. Right. And you have one side of like Trump and all his folks in oil and gas, and you have all these people who are like trying to protect the land and native folks, and they're like, fuck off, man. And they're just going at it. And the goal line is like Biden's office, like the when Biden gets into office. But the twisted part about it from our perspective is that doesn't mean we win. Like it's just another fucking dude, old white guy that we got to fight. Just it might be just a little bit easier, but still a fight.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? That is, yeah. I mean, but Dallas, I think you maybe missed some of the people he's already named. Really good environmentalists like Cedric Richmond, who is known for being terrible when it comes to oil and gas. But if you say that, I'm going to have to push back and say, isn't that interesting because he's black? Did you see that? The guy at the New York Times literally did that. Sorry, No,
I didn't see that.
Oh,
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So Sunrise, did you see this, Leslie?
I might not have seen that particular one. I've seen others similar.
It's a woke washing technique, but basically, the Sunrise movement had the audacity, and sorry, people who watch my show, because I talk about this a lot, even though it happened like a week ago. I've somehow managed to talk about it like 17 times, but it drives me crazy. So Sunrise movement tweeted something critical of this, of Cedric Richmond, who's has some position and like public engagement, which interfaces with climate stuff. They said stuff that was negative because they don't like him because he's a bad record. And Jonathan Martin at the New York Times is like, from the beginning, picking a fight with the most influential black staffer. White guy, by the way, Jonathan Martin. So, yeah. So
I mean, it's like it's not too different than saying, hey, our foreign policy and war making is going to be a little bit better because you have women in charge, right? Like
Condi broke the glass that glass ceiling. She shattered, and over the heads. I keep making this joke too, but many Iraqi ceilings.
I am trying my best to be like, okay, let's just get through with one like shit fest and just work on the next. Let's not worry about the frosting on the next shit cake, let's just kind of get through what we have right now. Right. But I can't help it. But
we can also push. I mean, people can organize and make demands now, right? Because people are like, he's not even in office. And I was like, well, that would be a good time.
That's what gets me all the time. Like before, in the primaries. Oh, don't wait. Let's just get through the primaries, and then it's the actual election campaign. Yeah. Well, wait till after the election, and then now it's like, oh, wait until he gets in office, and when he gets in office, say wait after the first 100 days because you got to give him space. Like, no, why should we wait? When's the right time to actually put pressure?
Yeah,
now at all points.
Yeah, actually, it's going to be after he steps down. That's when it's going to be. Someone posted a really funny image of like a timeline when it's okay to criticize. But and what are you still like? So in this crazy world, are you still doing? How are you finding the comedic? I mean, I shouldn't say that because I'm like, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous because I sound like a real hypocrite because I obviously. Not to compare myself to you, but anyway, how are you? You're someone who's actually much more engaged in things like in the struggle and in organizing. So how do you, does that make it that much more necessary and therapeutic?
It is absolutely necessary. I'm actually doing a comedy show tomorrow on Thanksgiving or Thanks-taking.
Yeah, Thanks-taking. Yeah.
And I'm going to be doing it for a native community out in the Bay Area for like the Native American Health Center, which is provides healthcare for Native folks in the SF Bay Area. And I'm excited and nervous as fuck for that because it's like how it's on Thanks-taking. You're talking to a bunch of Indians. You're a Native yourself. How are you? Like, it's so much for that. I'm excited for it. I'm nervous, but you know, it's so hard. Like I'm gonna ask for some violins to be played for me right now, but it's like crazy to be an organizer, but at the same time try to do comedy because in some spaces I can't. I feel like I'm not allowed to be funny because you have to be serious all the damn time and you have to be hard all the damn time. And when you try to bring comedy into it, you are seen like you are being disrespectful, which I love. I love when it comes off very disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think that's what keeps me going in this time is when I can bust a good joke when people are very, very into the zone of being serious.
Yeah. I mean, you have license, right? Because what you're doing, I mean, that should give you some. Obviously, some people always will have a stick up their ass or think things are inappropriate or problematic. But like,
yeah, I mean, I think I got street cred. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Like, you know, that definitely comes into play. I did a.
And you've been arrested and you've been doing all these. You know, you were at Standing Rock. You got arrested. Mm-hmm. You put your body on the line.
Yeah. Jill Stein beat me with a baton, but it was very consensual. Like, it went there. You know, I got street cred that way. So I was on this. I did an episode of Drunk History on the Comedy Central. It's a TV show, awesome. And that was like a year or two ago. And it was kind of funny, is because one of my an acquaintance. He's an actor. He's in a bunch of different shows. His name's Zon McLaren. He's like the Native guy that you go to. He is like that one Native guy that had all
coming down his cheek.
Huh? Yes, he has a permanent tear that's always falling at all points. And he was like there's that one Native in Westworld that got like the whole episode to himself. That was him. But he got asked to do it, and it was about Alcatraz. And Drunk History is like basically they retell the story, and someone's drunk and they're telling the story. And he was super nervous because he was like, "Oh shit, I don't want people to get mad at me. I don't want other natives to get mad at me because there's a stigma about drinking, and there's a stigma about like a serious issue." And so he called me out of the blue and said, "Hey, should I do this?" And I was like, "Fuck, do it, man! Like it's like this is storytelling, and we use comedy to tell stories. Just fucking do it." And he did it. And then he was like, you know what? He told the director, he's like, "Hey, I think you should get Dallas to do it too." So I got jumped in there as well. And cool. What was crazy about it is that there was backlash. Like before the episode even came out, because people were they didn't know what it was. All they saw was Drunk History about the occupation of Alcatraz, where a bunch of Native folks fucking occupied Alcatraz, took it over. Most people don't know it. Go check it out. Yeah. But people were really upset before it even came out. And these were our own Native people. And I was like, had to take the heat. But at the same time, I recognized the heat was a little bit less because they knew who I was.
Yeah.
And the work that I did. So I recognized that privilege going in that space.
Right.
What are you looking at? What's over there?
Dad, why are you coming in here? I'm recording. Oh, sorry. You want to sit in that? Sorry. I'm the worst daughter ever. Thank you. All right, hold on. You're not even going to know what he did, my dad. He brought me a drink that I work. Sorry, Dad.
Is her dad a little person?
Thank you.
He's not that small. I think it's just their perspective.
Okay, I think she's looking down. Just no disrespect to looking down. Cool. It's cool if he is.
My dad loves books, so I thought he was going to pitter patter around the book. Sorry. What were you saying?
Nothing.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Your dad looks tiny because it looks like you're looking down at him because the angle.
I asked if he was. Yeah, I asked if he was a little person.
Dad,
You were
wait, can you come here? Say hi. Can you say hi? You'll see him. I want you. You guys should say hi to him.
Yeah, get out of my room, Dad. I'm
Your
doing
shirt's fine.
something.
He often has a mismatch. Dad, say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
This is Leslie, who have you met in real life? And this is Dallas Goldtooth, who
I
is
don't think we've met
water
in real
protector.
life yet.
Okay.
You've probably seen him on Democracy Now!
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Great meeting, guys. So let her drink her water.
Yeah. Water. Okay. Gotcha.
Thanks. Bye, Dad.
See that was a smooth dad move.
Did you say something? Shit, I didn't. I took my headphones off. What did you say?
That was a smooth dad move. Like
Smooth dad
he
move, right?
he covered for you. Water.
Yeah. That was good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad kind of has Mandy Patinkin vibes.
He kind of does, yeah. And also Mandy Patinkin, and also a lot of Einstein. But I'm sorry, Dallas, I cut you off when I was my dad. Oh, drunk. No, sorry. I was trying to show, not tell, because we were talking about drunk history.
Oh, you planned it. Okay.
The whole thing, yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
But I was gonna say, like, it reminds me of when you were like, you can get away with it, but reminds me of the Office when Steve Carell's, what is it, Michael something, is really mad that he can't. You've seen the diversity episode, right? Like I think it's the first episode. He gets really mad. They have a diversity training, and one of the things he wants to bring up is why he can't recite this Chris Rock monologue.
Oh god.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So that reminded me I was going to make some stupid joke about why can't I get away with that stuff?
Well, that brings up to something I kind of got in trouble for. I'm kind of curious about your perspective, Dallas, because what you just mentioned kind of deals with this. Because I mentioned the fact that of all the things that Black people have shown that they do better than white people, one thing that white people have us beat us on, and your people too, Katie, definitely have us beat on, are sitcoms. Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I'll claim Curb.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think those three shows are much better than any Black sitcoms. And I think the reason why is because when you look at those shows allow the characters to be as depraved and horrible as possible.
Yeah.
And I don't think
politics for
I don't think anybody making a Black sitcom wants to put that perspective out of Black people, and I don't think any of the companies really do either. So they can't really get into the depths of like depraved, messed up comedy that my favorite sitcoms get into. Because when you look at something like Blackish, even though most of those characters are kind of bad people, they still spend about a third of the episode explaining Black history to you. So it gets close. And certainly something like The Cosby Show, where he was trying to do pro-Black propaganda basically by showing how great the family is. So they could never do Cosby would never want to do like a Black, Curb.
Equivalent of Curb,
Curb, yeah. I mean, he wants to do a lot of horrible other things, but not that. He doesn't want to do it. Yeah.
If only he put his heart into that. Yeah. And then what about, okay, what is the preferred, like if I'm talking about culture television, do I say, what's the adjective, Dallas?
Culture television?
Sorry, this is totally unfair.
Urban, of course.
Well, urban urban is so terrible for rural Black people. It's such a terrible thing to say. It's a slur. It's a slur. I'm putting it as a slur, but no, Native, Indigenous, First Nation. I'm just gonna
for TV.
Yeah, for any, like I was gonna say. And what is the? Compared to?
I like Native. That's my preference because it's short, right, straight to the point. Indigenous seems like super like formal, right? It's like when you introduce your first date to your parents, it's Indigenous. But Native is like the short version. Like that's right to the point.
So once your date is like, once you're together, then you can use Native.
Yeah.
Like once it's beyond formality. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it does have it. It has a certain, But native
Then
can also have
after-
an
and then-
anthropological
And then after that, it becomes Steve. So
Steve, right?
Indigenous, native, then he becomes Steve.
Steve, yeah, that's the trajectory.
Yeah. That's
But
the bedroom. That's the bedroom name, you know, Steve.
Bedroom name, yeah. Steve. Oh, I was just watching. Was it one of your? I can't remember. I was watching a funny video that made. Okay. Anyway,
it's interesting. Actually, I was never thought about that, Leslie. Like that is pretty damn true. Like I'm thinking about even Native writers and other folks of color who are writing in writers' rooms, and I'm with the comedy group 1491s, and most of the other guys are actually writing right now. There's 2 different TV shows that they're working on at this moment, and
that are not 1491 projects.
Yeah, they're not 1491s like labeled, but they are like they're projects that they're all in on. I was in the pilot episode for my bro Sterling Harjo, his show is going to be on FX.
Is he related to Joy Harjo?
No, they're not. That's very racist, and thank you very much.
Oh, is that a common name? Is that a common
it is actually name? It's a super common name amongst Creek and Seminole peoples. It's like Smith.
Yeah.
But Sterling Harjo, he is actually working on a show called Reservation Dogs, and it's co-created with Taika Waititi, who's the Maori director who made Thor, the Thor movie.
He's not just Maori, by the way. Do you know what else he is?
Oh, he's also Jewish.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's why he could make that movie about how funny Hitler is.
Oh my God, you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can you imagine if he hadn't been Jewish and he brought that somewhere? Anyway, yeah.
People have been looking at him like, what?
He's
like, no, seriously, it's funny. It's gonna be funny. No, so I think that I look forward. I was in that. I did a pilot episode for Reservation Dogs. I'm looking forward to where that goes, and it was really great. But I think, Leslie, you're right on it. I think there's a hesitancy even amongst our own to be like, go to the depravity and that, like, to really air out the dirty laundry of sorts.
Yeah.
Because they're like, fuck, they're gonna judge us by this. We're just playing into their hands. Always the ambiguous they.
Yes.
I wonder how much this just popped into my head, but like with respectability politics, obviously, economic questions are so related, and obviously there's slavery and colonialism, and then, so it's not like these things all track on parallels, but there is something to like, I don't know. There's something to and I'm using my Jewish license here now to try to say something, but there's something to just, I guess, the like, how do you say this without making it sound like Jews run the media? I don't even know if I can say it, honestly. So I'll probably have to pause that. But there's something to I don't know, I'm trying to think of the stereotypes about Jews that would be communicated in, I don't know, like the funniest episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, I think we talked about this, Leslie, is like the Seder episode and the Orthodox Jew one. But it's
which ones were those?
You're like, I thought that was Christmas. Would you look at that? No. Did you watch Curb?
No. Yeah, I do. I haven't watched all of them, but my favorite and the funniest one is when he was sleeping with the Palestinian girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Yes. I think I prefer by the way, Sam just wrote in the chat,
you gotta watch Atlanta.
You gotta watch Atlanta.
Atlanta is good.
Yeah.
Atlanta is very good, but like the problem is Donald Glover is just so damn creative. He doesn't just want to do comedy; he wants to do everything. So he doesn't just focus on making the sick. There's everything in that show. It's a really fantastic show, but it's not a pure sitcom. That's the only reason I would knock it, and it's not even a knock. It's just trying to do something different.
Right.
So I saw this. I don't even know if this source is true, but I saw this random thing that it wasn't like someone posted like, "Hey, this is not anti-Semitic," which is always a warning sign when you hear that. And it was a Native person. They're saying just like the numbers of Jewish people in the United States compared to the numbers of American Indians or Native Americans or Native people in the state is actually pretty damn comparable, I guess. But the representation of Jews on TV compared to representation of natives on TV.
Oh yeah, of course.
Is crazy disproportionate. And
also behind the camera, like not just on the screens, right? But behind the writers and directors. Yeah.
And it was just like a recognition of like, hey, like the point of what they were trying to make is not to say, hey, F those guys, but more like, look, there's inequities across the board here. And there's a reason, like, we really need to get more folks, Native folks, into the media, not just in front of the camera, but behind, who are creators themselves.
I think they were saying, wait, well, how does that go? Jews will not replace us. I'm just kidding. Sorry, I had to. I'm sorry.
That was good. That was good, Kate. And that's
why my Jewish license, that depravity license.
And see, that's why I maybe this is a little problematic for me to say. I'm actually glad that Jewish people are overrepresented in the media, because you put out a lot of good stuff. You do a lot of good. You do good work. Yeah. You do good work. I was actually about to say, like, I just realized a thing, an act of like whitewashing a native story. Well, not necessarily a native story, but about a native. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's based on a book, and if you actually read the book, the main character is not the Jack Nicholson character. The main character is the Chief Brahmin, and like the whole theme of the book is about like indigenous people like being forced to live on reservations, and that loss of humanity and dignity and masculinity, and the main character dealing with that and seeing this, white guy Jack Nicholson character who can walk proud even though he's in what they call a loony bin back then, and him seeing that and actualizing himself and trying, and the first thing he wants to do is go back to not to his ancestral land where they built like a dam. Like there's all this. That's what the book is actually about. But when you get to the movie, they just change the main character for some reason, and no one knows. No one thinks about it.
Wow.
Absolutely. Growing up, there's two films that I absolutely love because the way they represented Native people in it. And those two films, one of them is Die Hard 3, because Graham Greene, Native actor, plays one of the lieutenants that is part of the NYPD that helps find the bomb. A Native actor. I knew he's a Native actor because I used to watch Native movies and he was in it. And I love that. And the other one is it's the movie Heat.
Oh, that actor. I know you're talking about.
And Wes Studi is in the movie Heat. And he just plays a dude. Just a person.
Yeah.
But because growing up, we've seen him in all the other movies, like the Native movies, where I'm like, I knew who he was.
Yep.
Graham Greene.
Yeah.
Graham Greene plays one of the cops. And
who's the other actor you mentioned?
Wes Studi. Most folks will remember Wes Studi. He plays the bad Pawnee, the bad Indian in Dances with Wolves with the handprint all over his face. That's Wes Studi.
Okay. How do you spell it?
WES. Then Studi is STUDI.
Got it.
And like those are like the most memorable moments for me sometimes, because I'm like, hey, they were just playing regular old peoples. Yeah. They were just being people. I love those moments. I also thought for the longest time that Val Kilmer was Native, and I used to watch. Willow and Mad Mardigan in Willow. I totally was like, that dude, that's Native. He's a Native.
Well, it's just ironic because wasn't he in the Leonard Peltier movie?
Yeah, he was in Thunderheart, right? Yeah. He played the Washington Red. That's what they call it now. So yeah. Magua and Mohicans. Yeah, I'm looking at the comments, folks.
Oh God, I know it's very distracting. I sometimes have to zoom it out and then I just not to sound like an elitist, but yeah, it's true. I mean, so I met you at this conference in Canada, in Calgary. Was that what it was? It was the Res.
Oh yeah, Red Talk, Red X Talk,
Red Blood. It was a blood tribes.
Kainai.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the Kainai Res.
Cowboy
Smith.
Smith was there. It was really cool. And I
love the way the words that we're using make no sense to people. The blood tribe, Cowboy Smith was there.
Actually, we're repeating the spoken word that we performed. That's what we invited you to that conference to do. But I remember I'll text trying to ask my friend what it was. But Gabor Mate spoke, and for people who don't know, Gabor Mate was born in Budapest during the Holocaust and was hidden by like Christian family. And he said that something you hear a lot, and I've heard this argument made. I don't think by anyone I know. I think I've just heard in passing, which is going to sound so sketchy. But like, well, why are Jews were killed? They were killed. So many of them. How come they're okay? Usually, you hear that compared with Black people, and that argument in the United States. Mm-hmm. But I think in Canada, it's more of a Native, right? That mm-hmm. argument is with Native people, and not like I was ever sold on that idea. Like, oh yeah, good point. Obviously, because there's like 1,000 reasons for why that's an absurd thing to say. But he said something that I hadn't thought of before, which was that there's a difference between, being kind of like killed off, a lot of people killed off, and then people fleeing, staying there or fleeing or moving, whatever, and being like colonized where you are. Mm-hmm. And how that is a totally different experience. And you can't compare those two things. And it's not like a controlled experiment where it's like two persecuted groups. One does relatively well financially, the other doesn't. Why? But
can we get some A/B testing going? Yeah. I mean, humanity's ending anyway. We might as well settle these kind of questions. Like, if the fascism is coming, at least we can put it to use for science to see actually are there genetic differences. Yeah. Just put us through each other's trauma and see if we can really get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, it'll be such a beautiful.
We could have an actual oppression Olympics.
Yes. Think about it. Yeah. Oh God.
The actual Olympics.
Yeah.
That just find a stadium, put us all in there, just have us just lay it all out there.
These are the things we lost when Trump didn't get reelected, because we could have had it.
I saw there was a hashtag. There was some trending hashtag, the things Trump, good things Trump did or something. Like it was ironic. It was an ironic hashtag, or people are saying that we're thankful for things I'm thankful for Trump for. I'm gonna miss the fact that we didn't get to have the oppression Olympics.
Right, yeah, I know.
Too bad.
It's not too late. Just like they're trying to get all these drilling done.
Oh yeah.
Let's follow them. They're the trailblazers, literally.
Yeah, I was. What you were saying actually resonates. I remember once. This sounds so cliche, but when I was in college, I was in a poetry class, and I went to a school. I went to UC Berkeley out in the Bay Area. So just, go figure, the job I ended up in. I didn't see that coming. Yeah.
Or the poetry. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the poetry. But I remember like sitting there, and it was like all these folks of color, who are my friends, who are all like just putting their shit out there, and they're talking about all the traumas they've been through. And it's like civil war here and genocide here and civil war here and all that. And I remember going home and writing, because that's what you do in poetry. And I remember the unique nature that hearing all those words of amazing poetry, talking about all the traumas that their communities are struggling with, and they as individuals are carrying as a part of that cycle, and realizing for me, if writing it down for like a lot of Native folks, that for what people sometimes externalize, like the trauma of what happened over there, but we're still experiencing it in a very personal sense. The Civil War was there, or they're bombing over here, or they're attacking over there, and I'm feeling that. But for a lot of Native folks, that attack is here.
Yeah.
That trauma happened here, and you're still processing what happened here as well as what's happening now.
Right. And you're still here.
Yeah. And you're still here. Right. And I was like, God damn it. I need a tea. I need to get out of this room and put this pen down, because it was too much for me. Too much.
Yeah.
But I think that honestly, I have a lot of faith in the direction that like Native content, like Black comedy, like Native comedy, where it's all going. I think we're getting full. I want to get us to a place where we can start just showing the worth of us and not being afraid, and tapping into the comedy of that. And I'm already expecting some of that, but I feel like we want to get to that point where we can start really just be self-deprecating and using that as comedy, because that's what inspires me as a comedian. That was the type of humor that really resonated with me, was this whole self-deprecation kind of approach.
Yeah. Well, speaking of self-deprecation, not to brag, but do you know, apparently there's a study, I should probably cite it because I mention it every now and then. Apparently, you know who the most self-deprecating people are?
Let me guess.
Ashkenazi Jews. Notice, not all Jews, not the Sephardic. They take themselves very seriously, but Ashkenazi Jews, yeah. Well, yeah, you said what you said, and what Gabor Mate was about 1,000 times more eloquent than what I said, trying to paraphrase Gabor Mate. But yeah, I think that's something that I didn't think about. And I guess even you didn't think about it until you were comparing your situation with other people, like who were processing, right? Their trauma or oppression. But it really is. It's like a trappedness. I mean, there's something like kind of beautiful and resilient about it because you're still here. Not you. Well, you are, Dallas, but I mean, people.
Thank you for that permission.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Oh yeah, for letting you stay. Yeah, I was. Are you kidding? I wasn't even around then. But it's a very different thing, and I think also like since we're doing the Oppression Olympics, you know, just the awareness of the geographical separation also is somewhat unique. Like people will go their whole lives without meeting someone who's native, probably that they know of. Honestly, a lot of people are, but like, I mean, I don't know. I certainly never. You know, not everyone meets an Elizabeth Warren. Leslie, that was for you.
Yes.
A full, a truly Indigenous woman of color who
a bold, strong woman of color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So brave.
Yeah. Big structural belly. Brave. Yeah. What was that like, by the way? What was that experience like?
What's that?
Like just watching Warren negotiate that and talk about.
It was so funny. It was so hilarious to me, to be absolutely honest. Like, it's like, ooh, I want to see these two white people talk about this. Like, this is really interesting what comes out. I know a lot of folks were upset about it. Like a lot of friends who are doing a lot of great work. People? Oh, I don't know. What are we talking about? What white people are we talking about?
I was talking about just Warren, tapping into her Indigenous ancestry.
I was talking about Trump and her going back and forth about
her going back and forth.
What I was talking about. I think it was such a bizarre scenario with the Elizabeth Warren and the Pocahontas stuff because
Pocahontas, right?
Yeah, like it was a tough place because for like a lot of Native folks who were like they're like, yeah, she's not like. She doesn't have like legitimate claims. Like even the Cherokee Nation has said, like, you don't have legitimate claims. Right. Like, why are you saying that? But at the same time, it's like, fuck you, dude. Like you're fucking a racist. Like, what do we do? Who do we go after?
Right.
Like that's what I found comedic about it. Is just like the tough situation where you couldn't defend either side.
Yeah.
Like, is it racist to call someone wearing blackface the N-word? It's basically like the situation that was happening.
I think it's yes and. Yeah. Right, but how much can you put your heart into like condemning it, right? Without also wanting to be like, not that the blackface thing isn't problematic too.
Yeah.
But yeah. And what about why do you think how is Bernie? What do you think of Bernie Sanders? I'll just ask that question.
Oh, Uncle Bernie.
I'm a Bernie. Everyone's uncle, yeah.
Uncle Bernie.
Yo, Bernie, Uncle Bernie.
I don't know what to say. I like the dude. I don't know. I love Bernie. Yeah. I think honestly, Bernie back in 2016, right? That's when it was like the big thing, right? When Standing Rock was happening. Yeah. It was election time was going on. And of all the folks that were talking on a political level in that space, Bernie is the only one that like resonated with those of us who are fucking facing off to cops, who are dealing with rubber bullets and tear gas, and who are not only talking about the immediate fight against a fucking pipeline project, but who are also talking about this system of capitalism overall. And just the innate exploitative nature of this system. Like that's why like everyone was like, yeah, like fuck, we're on board with this guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's gone away. I think that admiration, and I think that I'll say for me, it's not just like, hey, that's the white savior. It's just like the points that he has made time after time resonate so strongly with me that I agree with that. And I'm like, I appreciate that guy, that man, for what he's brought to this space, as well as fucking countless others who continuously try to fight the system and try to work towards something different. So I am definitely on board and a Bernie. I actually got asked, so I was being vetted to be what is it, a surrogate?
Surrogate, yeah.
Yeah. So like someone asked me, like someone from their native team, he's like, would you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck, I'll do it. I'll go out there and I'll speak the good word.
Yeah.
And they started vetting me the week he dropped out. Like, damn it. That's the crazy part. I'm not a really political person. I wasn't. I've gotten more engaged in it, but like I didn't vote for Obama. So I went to see a movie on election day. Like that's how bad. Like I just was not engaged. There's nothing that pulled me into it until that 2016 election. All the shit that was going on in Standing Rock, but also just hearing the words that he was saying. So I was like, yeah, I'll be a surrogate. I'll try that out. I'll do it.
Oh man,
I'll carry his baby. I'll surrogate for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And anything else? I know that you don't have. I think you've been super. I mean, I know you've been super generous. I was going to say I think you are coming up on your deadline for having to go back to your family. But I want to make sure, this has been a kind of open-ended convo. So anything that you want to make sure that we hit. Liberal Karen's tears. You mentioned something about that. Karen's tears. Yeah.
I talked to my elders and they all advised against me saying, like, publicly saying this. I just feel so compelled to share a truth with all I think people in this country. We're at a place now where we can start just sharing about our culture, the secrets of Native American peoples, the monolith that is Indians. And tomorrow is a pretty important day for some people. Tomorrow in the United States, or the so-called United States of America, there's a lot of celebration that will be happening within the monolith that is the American Indian culture. And one major part of that I have to truth tell about it is that millions and millions of Native American people will be washing their bodies in the tears of white people. And we just want to say thank you for all the tears you've shed in such a brave way, and that we will wash ourselves in those. And I just wanted to share that. So that's some truth. Don't tell anybody. Do not tell anybody, because that's a ceremony unto itself
that we don't even know about. We didn't know where.
You didn't even know that. Yeah. See, we're still alive, resilient. And my kids, they're already asleep. They put themselves asleep. Okay. There's a kid on the stairwell already asleep. So they're okay.
Almost tripped over him. Yeah. And can you what's the character's name? The good way character?
The good way? Which character? Oh, the Powell MC?
Yeah. Can you tell us, can you just give us a message from him?
Yeah. Well, I would love to say that there's like a more serious note, but it's just like what I am excited for is just right now we're going into this crazy time with transition into Biden, but I'm really fucking excited for all the people that have been politicized and who are not disillusioned, who are really if shit doesn't go our way, if it's not going in a direction, we're still going to raise a ruckus. Right. There's still going to be fires, and they're not, that's what folks are committed to, because I think that there has been a spark going. And so I'm really excited for that, to keep the feet beneath the flame of sorts, to really push for systemic change in this country. And I love to see the arts. I love to see comedy, and I love to see just all forms of art really pick up on that, continue to push that. And in general, I think there's so much uncertainty in the world that I have to have complete faith in our ability to continue to cause a ruckus.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. And my character, for folks that don't know, I do this we started off this comedy group I started, where I co-founded, called the 1491s. Most of the guys are doing writing, like I mentioned. They're on Hollywood doing their thing, making money, and I'm over here raising kids. No, not a humble brag. I'm raising my kids in a good way, unlike those guys. I'm doing my job as a dad. But we started making videos, and honestly, the source of our comedy is ourselves as Indian men. Like, we just talk shit about Indian men and like Native men. Like, we just, because we're so dysfunctional, that's fucking hilarious at times. And the Powwow MC is the Powwow MC is the quintessential Native man who is always like taking up so much space. And it's like that every community gathering, he's the one guy you don't want to get the microphone, because you know you're going to be there for 4 days listening to his exploits. He's the guy that goes, all right, before I say anything, let me say a few words. It starts off the sentence like that. You're in fucking hardship.
Yes.
And I don't know if that guy exists in other communities, but he's pretty damn strong.
Oh, we have them. We have them. They're usually bishops in church. They're usually bishops in church.
Ours are medicine men. Hey, people, hey, there you go. So, the Powwow MC, he talks like this in very good way. I want to send good words and good prayers and good thoughts out there to all the little ones out there that made me the man I am. You're welcome, And I've made many people cry with the sound of my voice, and I want to say you're welcome for giving you that gift. And that's the character. And I always wondered, growing up, like, every powwow, every social gathering, there's always that guy that has that MC voice. That makes weird noises. And I wonder, does he sound like that in the bedroom? Is that guy? Ooh, oh, look at that. It's also the same guy that does like that MCs the rodeos. So I wonder if he talks the same way.
Okay.
But thank you so much for having me on. I'm so happy I was able to join
thank you so much for coming on. Yeah.
Great meeting you.
Yeah, and make sure you tell us if there's anything that we need to do. You want Whitey to do on Thanksgiving besides cry.
Give the land back.
Oh,
give
that's
the
good.
Land back.
Keep your tears. Give the land back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, Katie.
Yeah.
Start collecting the tears though, because we will use those as celebration. Thank you. You can follow. Everyone can follow me. I'm on all the socials under Dallas Goldtooth, and you can follow the work I do at the Indigenous Environmental Network. We're going to be unveiling some fucking action soon and doing some really strong push on Biden to do the right fucking thing. And I think actually what you could, if you want to educate yourself, is there's an acronym that most Native people know, because it just dictates our life. It's a big part of the fight. It's called FPIC. FPIC. It stands for free, prior, and informed consent. And that is the struggle where we're at, is that we demand that if there's any project that affects our folks, any national project that requires federal approval, that you have to obtain the consent of the people who it's going to affect. I mean, that's a basic human right. And the United States government needs to step up and do the right thing and recognize free, prior, and informed consent from Indigenous peoples. So check it out. FPIC. We'll be doing some work to let people be more aware of it, and we're going to be going after Joe to get him to do something about it too.
Yeah,
so
and Dallas, I just want to ask you one quick question before you go. From the Black community now, when you get
the Black community,
yes, the Black community, when you get all the land back, can we stay?
Oh hell yeah, bro!
Oh, cool.
Shit, yeah, all man. Right. Land back for us, for all of us. Reparations across the board.
Awesome.
We killed so many of us. We got room. So we got this.
And one question I want to make sure Dallas and Jackie
Kali'a'a
will be performing live Thanksgiving for Comedy Night. When is it, Dallas? How do people sign up?
Dang. Who's this person coming out of the woodwork? This person
is Stephanie Welch.
Well, thank you, Stephanie Welch, for that plug. That's tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah. I thought it was a closed group. I didn't know it was public. Check it. All right. How about this? Go to my Facebook. follow me on Facebook, Dallas Goldtooth, or on Twitter, and I will post about it so you can watch a comedy show tomorrow if it's public.
And if not, you can just post and be like, "Hi guys, sorry, it's some, you know."
Yeah, F off. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's my day. I could say that.
Yeah. Totes. Well, yeah, thank you, and I will put the links to your stuff, to your projects, and let us know what actions you need people to be working on.
Absolutely, will do.
Because
thank you both.
Leslie and I don't think there's anyone in the world who enjoys dragging Biden more than me or Leslie, so we're there for the fight. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Thank you
great.
so much.
Thanks so much, Dallas. Bye. That was great. Very funny. Love that character.
Very funny.
In a good
awesome.
way.
Good guess. Good guess.
Thank you.
Good guess for me as co-host, Katie.
I know. Perfect, right? Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Leslie, I'm going to ask you a question. How much time do you have right now?
Oh, how much time do you want?
Well, I wanted to respond to a video that I don't know if this has nothing really to do with the host of the videos. You've been on her. I don't know if you've been on her show. She's been on yours, I think, which is No Miki Kant's show.
No Miki Kant's. I've had her on my show.
You had her on. Okay, yeah. So she's not the issue at all. She just happened to have someone on her show, and I think that we should probably review what was said.
Oh, sure. And No Miki's cool. I like.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just grab this. Hold on 1 second. Sam, are you in the chat? People can't post links in this. That's the annoying thing. But let me just see something. Hold on. That was great. He's so funny, Dallas.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah. He really kind of was like, was I silenced? Oh, all right. Hold on 1 second. What was the thing that I was just going to show you guys about? I know. Yeah. Hold on. All right. Oh, you know what else happened, by the way? Someone said that I made them cry at a
I saw that.
A baby shower. I know I shouldn't have responded, but I couldn't help it.
No, because it's fun. Because I know you, and I know that would never, ever, ever,
right?
Ever happen. If anything, if I would ever be somewhere with you and embarrassed, it's because you were too nice to somebody who talks shit about you. If like that, you would never do that. You would never do that.
No, yeah. So what happened is, I won't show you her name because whatever, but she said that what did she say? It said something. Oh, my friend texted it to me. Let me see. Hold on. Thank you, Kelly. I got the thing that you just sent me. Thank you for that. Okay. So Casey Michel, someone responded to his tweet against me and Rania and stuff, right? First of all, do you know Maggie Klaus?
No, I don't know her.
Do you know she wrote? All I saw is the person who tweeted this about me is blocks me, because honestly, if I'm gonna lie about someone, I block. It makes sense that she blocked me, because if you lie about someone, you want them to be blocked, right?
Yes.
Like if I was like, Leslie's a terrible person and he made me cry at a I don't know, like an Easter parade, like you wouldn't want to. Whatever you guys.
Yeah, I do get this stuff. There was some guy in DSA who got mad at me because I said, what did I say? I said American Pie was better than Superbad, and he got so mad at me that he started talking so much smack they ended up having to delete his entire account, start over, change his avatar, everything. This was in the span of a few minutes. This guy went from following me to basically embarrassing himself so much they had to delete his account and start over. And now he has me blocked and is like talking shit about me. This is because I said I thought American Pie was better than Superbad. I did not know it was that controversial a thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is funny because last episode we actually said, Bree and Rania and I, we joked about K-Hive and how we were going to like read hate tweets or something. Why is someone making fun of my not putting a sentence together? Well, I won't look at the comments. Sorry. Okay, so let me actually get out of there so I don't get distracted. Yeah, so it was very apropos that Casey and them started like tweeting those weird things about us, because that gave us a great way to initiate the segment that we started tonight, which was, I think that's hate tweets, right? But I really, those were like, those were hate tweets, right?
Yeah, they were hate tweets. Yeah. Yeah, you gave the people what you promised.
Yeah, what I promised, right? So, excuse me. So I see the Maggie Klaus tweets. She's unhinged about me. Now, we should probably look at Maggie's account because it's pretty funny.
Her bio is very funny.
Yeah, let's look at Maggie. So remember, this is a woman, Maggie Klaus, called me unhinged, okay? Just as background. Let's take a look at Mag's account. We can't all be as grounded as Maggie. Hold on. Okay. Here's Maggie, okay? First of all, what do you got? It's standard. You got the Hillary
yes, of course.
thingy, right? That's her
pretending that she won. Like that image is a lie. That image is just
right.
A lie.
You're right. That was at the DNC. Yeah. Now who do we got here? Her best. I don't know. Someone she really likes. You know, that's Adam Schiff, the spook, right? Dirty guy. Her pin tweet. She was so fucking robbed, and nobody in media is acknowledging it. She is the legitimate president. Okay, remember, she called me unhinged.
You skipped the bio.
Oh, sorry, you're right. I knew. Yeah. Neoliberal in the streets, corporate whore in the sheets, block trolls, proud Pelosi, Clinton, Harris Democrat, still with her. Okay.
Those are 3 different types of Democrats, by the way.
I mean, they all suck, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, they are kind of different.
I like the way she look at these images. She used the same thingy.
Oh God, New York. Oh, she's black gifing. Look, I am fairly tolerant of using black gifs, but like it especially gets difficult when it's black women from reality TV shows,
right?
Specifically VH1 ones. Those almost always come off as a bit racist when white people use them.
Oh God, who was that woman who was like, "You coming for joy? You're coming for us, fam," or something? Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yes, I've seen those. The Black Twitter ain't having no Bernie. Lots of people think that like liking Kamala Harris makes them black. Like, and like for real, like there was a couple. I'm sure you covered them. Like a couple of people just like were just like being like racist because they thought that they could like beef stock for black people. These are a couple. Like especially the Bree gets a lot of it.
Oh my
like,
God!
White women.
Bree adjacent bro fodder or horse. What's his name? Horse whisperer.
And I just want to know who is in these white women's families in the K Hive. Like, what are you telling? Is there not someone who can like tell you to get off the phone?
Right.
Like
that you're embarrassing people yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're all very nice women in real life.
Yeah. Very nice women like Maggie. So Maggie retweeted that Nicholas Grossman tweet, by the way. Some Bernie Sanders campaign, right? And then I didn't realize this but she also, by the way, she tweeted something about, okay, this is weird. This freaked me out. Maggie Klaus retweeted Reverend Raphael Warnock. Now, I'm not going to hold that against him because I think he seems really awesome. It's weird, right?
It's because they don't actually have any kind of real political ideology. So, like, if like the chips were down some other way, like they would be a big Bernie supporter possibly. You know? Like it just like it's not really about ideology to them. They went down like probably the path of least resistance, and they find some people they like. It's about
ideology to a certain extent, right? Because they actually don't like poor people.
Well, I don't know, because a lot of them like they don't even think past like the logic of their beliefs just make no sense, and so they kind of read down to what the status quo is because they don't want to think hard. It's not because they actually believe in like a neoliberal economic system. It's just that trying to think your way out of that is scary. Saying actually we should probably stuff like defund the police. Why they're so scared to defund the police? If what they say about the police is true, that it's an inherently racist system, the justice system is racist, then the logical conclusion is we need to get rid of it. But they don't take that step, and it's not. I don't necessarily think it's an ideological reason. It's just that they're scared, and so it's easier to just say we should just fix it, reform a couple of things, and then not have to think about it anymore.
Yeah. We'll have to have another show where we debate the term, because I have a kind of unpopular take. Not really. I don't disagree. I just think there needs to be another term for it. Do you see this though, Leslie? I had a creme brulee for dinner, and that's that.
Creme brulee donut for dinner.
Don't, yeah, thank you. Don't. Yeah.
That's very, identifiable. I
I
identify
know.
with
I
that.
know. I'm sorry.
Well, actually, I don't. Like, just the one. That's kind of like a humble brag, right? Like saying, "Oh, I had a donut for dinner, but only one." Like that's kind of like
what kind
in
of
and of itself
self-control
is like a humble brag. Just one donut. Like you.
Yeah, who does
like,
that?
Like if you said 3 donuts, and I'm like, okay, you were actually trying to make a meal of the donuts. But I feel like saying one donut, you're still trying to be cute. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Totally. Yeah. I want to know that you pigged out. Oh my God.
Another black GIF.
I know. This she retweeted, but it's a good one. It's a really good one.
Yeah.
So yes, she said I was unhinged, and oh my God, look at this. You see this, Leslie? You will never, ever find a photo of the Trumps looking genuinely happy like this. She truly is living her best and most peaceful life.
God. They don't even look real.
They both look dead.
They look dead, yes.
They look like they just participated in a joint a suicide homicide pact or something.
Oh my God. They look awful.
They look so bad.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
He doesn't even look like he looks like he's jib jabbed.
Yeah, exactly. They both look jib jabbed. Her head looks too big too. It's like, oh my God.
Oh my God, they're totally jib jabbed. Oh my God, that's so awful. We have to somehow make this like into a thing where we jib jab them onto photos of themselves. Rachel Maddow, obviously. More Hillary Clinton. Anyway, so she said I was unhinged, and that was in response to this woman saying that I made her cry at a. Let me just see. Hold on. Let me just see what the was.
I have to reiterate for people who don't know Katie personally how much this did not happen. If anything, you would be mad at Katie for how nice she is to some people who don't deserve it.
I mean, I'm feisty, obviously, but I don't go up to someone at a party like that, What happened was, here's what she tweeted. That Katie check, okay, thanks. That Katie check screamed me out of a baby shower once. She knows I dislike Bernie. Was truly stunning. First of all, I'm just rereading that. Screamed you out of a baby shower? Here's how you know that's total bullshit. Here's what really happened, okay? She's an idiot, which is fine. I can say that. Like, she's absolutely a raging idiot. And I knew I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I didn't write her off. I kind of thought she was an unhinged Bernie phobe who has some weird issues with whatever. I don't want to over psychologize it, but I think you know where I'm going with this. Like Mimi Roca level. Just like totally not based in reality. Yeah. You need to work out some shit with whomever.
Yes.
And then get back to us.
I love that phrase. You need to work out some shit with whomever.
Yeah. But seriously.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
So that's what it is. And it's like, look, I don't like this. It sounds misogynist, like the irrational, hysterical woman. No, but there are men who are like that too. But it's a visceral thing that has not been resolved. And you need to tend to that. And until you tend to that, for your own sake, don't talk about politics. But I didn't come up to her that way. I didn't know that. I just thought she was kind of a neoliberal idiot. And I was talking to her at a party, and it's my friend's party. Like, it wasn't even that big either. It's not like I could have slipped in like a confrontation and would have been loud and she would have screamed and I was like, haha, victory. It was like maybe a dozen people. Okay. Yeah. And somehow I screamed her out of the party, but yet I remained for hours more, as did other people. Because I guess maybe because they all have Stockholm syndrome, they're all masochists. I'm not sure how it happened. So that's her version of it, okay? That I screamed her out, as they say, right? I screamed her out of a party. Scream me out. Also, what the hell is that? She screamed me out of a party.
That's not a thing that happens. I don't understand. She
get the fuck out of it. Like imagining myself like at my friend's baby shower, right? And I'm like, you Bernie hating shell. So what happened was, because I'm aware of reality, because I don't have some overriding pathology that distorts the way I see the world. I knew this woman from online that she and I had gotten into Twitter fights before. We're having a nice chat. I assumed that she had the sharpness
to recognize your face.
Yeah, to understand.
Is always your avatar.
Yeah. And my name, Katie, whatever. Like,
and you don't go 5 minutes without mentioning Bernie Sanders anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we've had fights over it, right? So I say something offhand like, it's so nice that there's so much shit on, it's nice to meet someone in person and you fight online, but then it's nice in person. Like, there needs to be more of that. Some bullshit, some corny shit that I don't fucking believe, by the way. I certainly don't believe now, because I believe it with some people, I guess, but not with her. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm trying to be nice. And she like has a physical reaction. And she's like, oh my God, Sandy Hook, Bernie, NRA. She says some weird stuff and she looks like like you see her go into the zone.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, he literally NRA. And then she grabs her coat and leaves.
Oh, yep. So
she did leave. I'm not lying about that, but I didn't yell at her. And the reason I know that again is because I stayed at the party. We hung out for a few hours. I remember that day I went, then I think we left and I went with a friend who was there and we saw, what's the movie? A Star is Born, which deeply scarred me, by the way. But that's, I know.
Not a fan of it?
No, I loved it. Leslie, it made me cry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You should talk to Jack's wife.
I know. I did her show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie. I mean, it's deeply problematic, but it's amazing acting, I think. So no, that part happened. I just couldn't believe that she'd have the well, no, you know what?
She probably
has the audacity because she blocked me.
Yeah, she has the audacity, and I think there might be an off chance that she actually believes that happened.
Right.
There's a chance that she might actually believe that if that was her reaction and this is her demeanor. Like, of course, none of these people want to any kind of real confrontation. Like, my God.
Right.
Like, no, I don't think almost nobody wants to really be held accountable for their tweets. I mean, nobody wants that. That would freak. That's gonna freak almost anyone out, but especially like some weak-minded person. Like this. No. She might think you screamed at her, but that certainly did not happen. So
because everyone in the part, and I remember even staying and talking to more people, and there was debate, and it was like it wasn't even spirited. Like people disagreed. I think it was about. Like I've been in yelling fights with people, but I haven't done that for years, and like a decade. And I know when that happens. It's not like I lose my sense of whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not like I have an emotion, like I black out, like psychologically. And someone's like, you really yelled at that person. Like, oh, I did that. I hate when that happens. Yeah. So whatever.
You're like a sleep debater.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, what I can do is I can get very like unemotional about something and be like, no, that's not even coherent. Like I'll get very in the weeds and like I not emotional in a weird way.
Yeah, I've seen you when who were you talking? You were talking to somebody at the DNC, maybe a douchebag from Slate, the editor.
Oh yeah.
I
remember you were fighting with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fighting with him too. Yeah.
But I'm all about like, I'll even concede points and weaknesses on my side, give someone else their, what's good about their argument. But that's just like that's not even in a friendly, sweet way. It's just like sometimes I do it in that way, but other times it's just an intellectual curiosity thing. So let me just show you guys. So anyway, that's that woman who's, by the way, I haven't shown her face. So like, it's fine. Like, but she has like a cartoon of herself, which is cute, I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to. So here I'm going to open up the video that I want to talk about. Let's see. And I want to thank Sam. By the way, if people watched Useful Idiots this week, we actually show you a very good drawing that Sam T. Sohonis did. And Sam is also the person who tweeted something. Basically, she tweeted out. Here, I'm just going to share. Bye. Sorry, Maggie. You got to go.
Oh, and shout out to the Mark O'Brien for his super comment. The amount of eye I've had for the Biden admin. Side eye, yes. Lots of side eye. We got to send those side eyes out.
Yeah.
If we could only weaponize the K-Hive, if we could convince the K-Hive that like if Biden steps down, Kamala will be president. And they should just like heckle him.
Oh my God, that would be great.
And like side eye him and send them all their black jokes the whole time.
Stuff like that.
That would work.
Yeah.